A U.S. Army Staff Sergeant will spend the rest of his life in prison for killing 16 Afghan civilians last year, among them women and children. In June, Robert Bales pleaded guilty to avoid the possibility of a death sentence. A military jury decided Bales will not be eligible for parole.
Robert Bales apologized for the attack, calling it an act of cowardice. Surviving victims and relatives of those killed had demanded that he face a death penalty. And some who traveled to the U.S. to testify against Bales expressed their frustration through a translator.
You know, it hurts. I saw his mother trying to cry, but at least she could go and visit him. What about us? Our family members are actually 6 deep under, and there's no way that we can go and even visit him at all. We were brought all the way here from Afghanistan to see if justice would be served, but not in our way. The justice was served the American way, their way.
40-year-old soldier pleaded guilty back in June, thereby avoiding the death penalty. On Thursday, he apologized in court to the families of the victims. What I did is an act of cowardice behind a mask of fear, bullshit and bravado. I'm truly, truly sorry to those people whose families got taken away. I can't comprehend their loss. Sergeant Bales' murders sparked a wave of anti-American sentiment among Afghans, further straining relations between Washington and Kabul. Bales, in his defense, cited post-traumatic stress and a brain injury to explain the killings.
Families of the victims met President Karzai in Afghanistan to demand justice. In the eye for an eye culture of southern Afghanistan, many are unhappy Bales was able to avoid the death penalty in a deal which saw him plead guilty. Haji Saeed Jan lost 4 members of his family, including his wife and brother. He told the BBC Bales should be tried in Afghanistan. He should not be forgiven, he said. He should be hanged. That would help, but I will not get over the death of my family until the day I die. We have not received justice from the Americans, he added. Staff Sergeant Robert Bales will now spend the rest of his life in prison, without the possibility of parole.
Well, it was a nighttime deployment in March. This was a very small outpost in a remote area of southern Afghanistan. Robert Bales was providing security to a special forces unit that was based there near 2 villages. And what he did is that he slipped out in the middle of the night and went to one of these villages and began a shooting spree. Ultimately, there were 16 Afghan civilians that were killed in this nighttime spree. At one point, he actually went back to his combat outpost, got more ammunition because he had used up so much in the first village. Even told one of his suite mates that he had done something bad. That individual went back to sleep, did not believe him, and he snuck out again, went to the other nearby village, and continued with the shooting spree.